What's up? Welcome in. Happy Monday on the CHGO Bears Podcast presented by PointsBet. Use code CHGO to live your bet life and get up to $2,000 in free bets. Couldn't remember where the camera was in the studio.
Who is that guy next to you?
I don't know. I believe he was in the movie Super Troopers, though. Nicholas Moreano's here today. He is back from vacation with a mustache.
That's what happens when you go to Punta Cana, apparently. You come back, and you just come back with a mustache. And, yeah, I don't know how long this is going to last. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see this glorious thing that's on the upper lip here. But, yeah, it's here. Maybe here to stay for good.
Based on the, there it is. I cannot say
wild.
Jay's last name. Jay
Chandraskar.
Is that how you say it?
No, I don't know.
He is a huge Bears fan, though. I know that from following him on Twitter. And for those not watching on YouTube, the guy from Super Troopers. They pretty much all have mustaches in that movie, though. But
well, yeah, that was the thing.
Yeah. But yeah, you should be on Super Troopers 3.
Okay, yeah, if it gets, I'll be there. But I was telling you, Adam, like, I've seen a lot of just good mustaches lately.
Yeah?
You watched the second Top Gun, Rooster, has a nice mustache. And then I was watching Ted Lasso recently.
Okay.
And so I'm like, all right. I told where I get my haircut at I'm going to shout her out, Yuritsa. She's like, she knew I was going to Punta Cana, so I wasn't going to go with the mustache. Couldn't do that, taking pictures and stuff. But I told her, once I come back, we're doing just the mustache. She's like, I'm going to hold you to that. And here we are.
So did you grow the full beard while you were gone and then just shaved it when you got home?
Yeah. So on Sunday is when the mustache appeared and is now taken over.
And repeat to me your girlfriend's reaction that you had told me earlier.
How long is that going to stay? But
when you told to me earlier, you said that it started with, oh.
Yeah, it was, oh.
Which was all that she needed to say.
Yeah. And honestly, when I looked at myself in the mirror for the first time, I laughed. She laughed and was like, oh, I think that's a mean stash.
I actually think it looks good, to be honest. I'm jealous.
It's definitely there.
Hey, no, you said it looked good earlier. Don't?
Yeah, I know you did. As someone, who has had a mustache occasionally, very rarely, it's for like a day, and then I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I look like Mario.
Get rid of it.
Yeah, like
Ramon.
This guy. That's what I look like when
Aaron Rodgers with a mustache is what you look like.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
He's rocked that before.
I like it. I think you should keep it. The one thing we definitely have going for us at CHGO that I cannot really partake in is great facial hair.
Yeah, and I was thinking like all the, coaches, general managers that have won championships. What's the common denominator there?
Dicka.
Mustaches.
Quinville.
If I just lose this here, yeah. Yeah, Quenville had one. That's when I would actually do mine. I would call it my cup stash. So 3 times in 6 years when the Blackhawks won, I would shave off the playoff beard and just leave.
If you still had your long hair, Lawrence, with the mustache.
Oh my God. What a look.
I would probably be arrested.
I was going to say, I don't know how people would receive it on the streets, but
yeah,
in here, I think it would be awesome. I think it'd be great content, which is what we're all about here.
Great content. However we got to do it.
Love the hashtag content. Did you see me in a shower last week at the Sox game?
I did see that. I didn't even.
Okay, I thought you were going like full David Kaplan there for a second, because he would do videos from his actual shower.
No, that's weird.
Shower at ballpark, way better.
Yeah, the Comiskey Ballpark. Yeah. Me and Greg of the Blackhawks, we did a little shower together. I mean, it was 1,000 degrees, so it was like the best part of the day. It
was warm. It wasn't 1,000. It was a lot. It was actually way nicer than the day before when it was like literally 1,000.
Yeah, it was 995, I think, on Wednesday.
My gosh.
Super Moreano. I like that comment.
That's good.
That's a good one.
Hey, shout out to our friends at DNVR for their Stanley Cup victory.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I was very jealous watching that. The Stanley Cup final, so fun. We were rooting along. I was rooting for the Avs. It's good.
Oh, yeah, me too. I was 100% rooting for the Avs.
Yeah. My son, though, wanted the Lightning to win. I tried to tell him, I'm like, James, it's good for our company if the Avs win. Yeah, but I want there to be another game. Also good logic, though.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Good
I would have taken Game 7 and then the Avs still winning.
That would have been That bar would have gone even crazier.
Yeah,
right. But they look like they had a fantastic time throughout the entire finals.
I mean,
playoff run.
The fact they I think Allie sent a video at like 2 a.m. of them doing one last shot of Malort on set after their post game, and I was like, "You guys are awesome. That's amazing.
That takes something."
I'm so happy we did that.
At least 2 hours too late for me.
Yeah, just Malort at any point in the time is
also that. Yeah.
So
they finished off those 4 bottles we sent them?
Well, I know they started bottle 4 last night.
Okay.
I don't know if it's fully gone.
So for those that may have missed that, CHGO sent DNVR 4 bottles of Malort, 1 a drink after each victory of the Stanley Cup final. And so, of course, last night was win number 4. And if they actually finished that before the night was over, I am very impressed.
Yeah. More impressive, though, I heard that RK, who's the guy that actually likes the Malort out there, he was up till about 4:30 in the morning and had a charity golf outing at 7:30 he had to wake up for. So,
and he made it?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
something.
Oh, to be young.
That is impressive.
That is something.
I was up till 5:30, maybe 6 the night the Cubs won, but that was because I was working. We did a post-game show until like 3 in the morning.
A little different, yeah.
And then on my way home, we got word that the plane was coming in from Cleveland, and someone made a phone call to me and was like, "Hey, do you think you could try to get to O'Hare?" And then, of course, I'm like, they're not going to come in where you think they're going to come in. And sure enough, they snuck the buses all out of O'Hare without anybody seeing them. They got the arrival at Wrigley, though. That was cool.
Yeah.
At that point, I was like, nah, I'm going to bed. Well, anyway, I don't know what they'll send us the next time we have a team making the final of any sport. Probably the Sky, most likely. Definitely not the White Sox at this point.
Losers.
Hopefully not Malort.
But...
Maybe
I don't think Colorado's... What?
Rocky Mountain oysters? Isn't that a thing?
Yeah, but I don't think that's what you think it is.
Isn't it like bull testicles?
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Oh,
I'm just saying, like, if we sent them Malort, what could they send
Well, that's
us?
what I was thinking. But the problem with this is Colorado only produces good things, apparently, except for Rocky Mountain oysters. Like, their beer is phenomenal.
Oh, they should definitely send us some Breck Brewing stuff.
Yes.
That'd be great.
Absolutely. So whatever it is, I don't know that they can reciprocate the disgusting Malort. But anyway, we're very happy for them. Check them out on their social media channels at DNVR_sports, at DNVR_avalanche. There's a lot of awesome content from the DNVR bar, which hopefully is coming to a city near you if you live in Chicago.
Yeah, hopefully.
That'd be dope.
So, all right, we do have some Bears stuff to talk to you about. Nick is back. Any stories from vacation other than possible mustache rides or any of that type of thing?
Did some zip lining in Punta Cana, so that was fun. It was like 12 different zip lines, and you had to maneuver your way up like this mountainous hill kind of thing, and they had walkways that you had to get on all fours to kind of maneuver through. They had like a ladder type of thing where you're attached to the zip line and have to constantly make your way up. My girlfriend Stephanie got cornered by 2 3-foot giant like iguana things that were they eat vegetables and fruits and stuff.
Yeah,
but
not humans. She
not
really
humans.
got cornered?
Yes, we were trying. So you have to make your way up these steps, and these 2 giant iguanas are just laying there.
Yeah.
They're not caring if people go through, except for my girlfriend.
Okay.
And she takes one step, and one of the iguanas, the left arm just flicks back. It's like, back up. And then, as she makes her way up that next step, the iguana from the top step starts to make his way down, and then it's like both are like converging towards her, and then she kind of loses it. But it was a good time. But this is my Instagram here.
Yeah, that's right. I'm showing your Instagram.
Yeah,
I just want to show. I just want to show the zip line.
Oh, there we go. This is all from the sunglasses, the Ray-Ban stories here.
Oh, that's what it is.
Oh,
Nice.
you got your yes.
So
Nick
this
has
is
these.
perfect.
Nick has those Ray-Bans that literally have a camera built into them.
Ray-Ban stories.
Which this is a useful thing, unless they fell off your face while you were ziplining, then it wouldn't be so.
Yeah, but they're pretty snug on there, so.
Yeah, I muted it because I don't really want to hear the noise, but yeah. Look at this. There you go.
Yep. For people who are just listening, I am going down the zip line.
And there's a. Okay,
There
I
we
thought
go.
you ran into the side of the mountain.
I had to buy some like what is it? Swimming shoes there, and that's how we ventured up this mountain, which is not probably the best attire, but we made it work.
You climbed a mountain in swimming shoes?
I did. Yep.
That seems weird.
Yep. It wasn't but everybody was doing that. So it's like, okay, now I have to go buy these swimming shoes that are overpriced in the store because literally everybody had them. But yeah, it was
Why
a
do you
bunch of
need
fun.
swimming shoes? What am I missing? Why can't you just use your shoes?
Because no one else is using them. I don't know. I could have used them.
I feel like a nice pair of Nike trainers would have worked.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
Why is there sounds like lightsabers in here right now?
Oh, that's just the HVAC. It causes some sort of vibration. I don't think you hear it on the stream.
I'm sure they don't, but like in the studio, it
That's not
sounds like
great.
we're in a Star Wars movie.
Darth Vader and Luke are going at it right now.
I've never heard that before. Of course, we don't use this studio a lot, but we are in Studio B today, which is our side studio because the Bulls guys blew up our regular studio last week, I think.
With the great draft content,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, there's too much heat coming from the draft content.
Yeah, that was not great. But I think we've got it figured out. We're just putting you guys in here just to confirm.
I like
things.
this studio. I'm
love
fine
the
with
seats
it.
in here.
Our viewers like it too. We're getting
Yeah.
compliments.
Dirty Money Dirk.
Yeah.
Let's go.
People love it.
That's sick, fellas.
All right. Well, we are going to keep the ball rolling with our opponent previews as we go through the Bears' schedule. We have another couple players to break down today. Like I said, Nick is back. Hope everybody enjoyed their weekend. The team on the schedule today, the Washington Commanders. Get used to that one.
Yeah. Washington Commanders.
They have
That's
well,
a
at least
team.
they have
That's
a
a real
name
team.
now.
I just hate that name so much.
Yeah, I don't love
That's
it.
a real team.
It's a
I
terrible
don't
name.
love it. And you know what the weird thing was? When they first revealed the logo, I decided I didn't hate it. No, I don't really like it.
It's just boring.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I guess I got to look at it again to see if I hate it now because
Look.
it seems to be the
The amazing thing
Consensus.
about that organization is that name and logo is about like the 20th biggest
Yeah.
problem in the entire organization.
Yeah, number 1 through 19 is Dan Snyder.
Yeah.
Funkbringer says this studio is missing the autographed Roquan helmet. It's just out. I could bring it in if you
Somewhere
want. I
else,
mean, it's,
yeah.
But we do have a Justin Fields figurine here.
yes.
and that sweet little growler with
yeah,
the Bears
but-
helmet thing.
But Nick said the growler was given to him empty.
I'm sorry, Parker. He's the one who gave it to me.
Who?
My friend Parker. He's a good friend.
It sounds like
I
it,
don't
but
know.
what? Who gives a friend an empty growler?
I-
There's supposed to be beer in it.
Maybe there was before he gave it to me.
Okay, so he drank it and then cleaned it and gave it to you.
See, if you can't tell on here, but Justin Fields' fade is a little off. He's got a little bit of
Says the
patch
guy
in
with the
there.
mustache.
Hey, you have great facial hair, I guess. Actually, Justin Fields doesn't have any facial hair.
No, not
Clean
at least
shaven.
not in the bobblehead version. All right. Well, the Washington Commanders went 7-10 last year. That was good enough for third in the NFC East, of course, ahead of the Giants. Their head coach is our good friend Ron Rivera, who is already in his third season with Washington. Although it kind of feels like it's
Let me
been
break
10.
in though. Look at what Carson Wentz wore to his introductory conference. What an idiot! Look
Yeah.
at that outfit,
I mean,
What are you
It's team
wearing?
Colors.
bro. That's the closest you're getting to Canton is wearing that jacket now.
Oh, wow.
that is true.
I
Wearing
mean-
that color. Now, I see what he was trying to go with, the color scheme. But look, there's a reason why on our screen it says key additions, not good additions, great additions, just
key.
notable additions, basically. They are key.
He is an addition.
You had one franchise in the Indianapolis Colts that were basically broadcasting to the world at the Combine with the way the head coach and GM were talking about him, that they couldn't wait to get rid of him.
Oh, yeah.
And there was one franchise that was like,
Bring him to
please,
me.
please,
Bring
I
him.
want that person. I don't know why. And they're just unbelievable. Took on the contract of Carson Wentz. And it's just crazy because
He's a loser. I'm sorry. He's. I don't care. Like that. He's just not good. He's not going to win you anything.
well, and there's so many just look, a lot's come out of Indianapolis. It's just how bad of a fit he was down there, and culture fit, and all these
Leadership
things.
wise, too, it's been, talked about, too, with Carson Wentz. But,
Yeah.
yeah, it was weird that they allocated so much money to him, too. And it was Taylor Heineke who had a recent press conference that he was asked, like, legitimately, do you think you have a chance to play for the starting job? He's like, honestly, no. Look at the money that they're giving Carson.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to have him sit on the bench regardless of how they play. Like, he's a starter. And the way Carson Wentz has played, especially in big games, it's like you want that to be the opposing quarterback if you're a defense, right?
Now, I'll say this. Is Taylor Heineke an NFL starting quarterback? Good God, no. So, like...
No.
I don't think that's...
But Taylor Heineke doesn't have a base salary of $22 million with a cap hit of $28 million. Yeah. And, like, this goes back to Carson Wentz and Nick Foles will always be linked together, right? Mm-hmm. Okay? And funny enough, Nick Foles is now in Indy. Of course, as their backup. But, like, hasn't there been enough evidence that shows that Nick Foles might actually be just as good, if not better? Like, everyone's still in love with Carson Wentz's talent, but Nick Foles came in, won that Super Bowl, was also available. Like, there's so many quarterbacks I feel like I could bring up that would have been a better option than Carson Wentz. Mm-hmm. When you factor in the money. Like, if Carson Wentz had Nick Foles' contract, I'd probably take Carson Wentz, even with all the leadership issues aside. Like, there's no question talent-wise, he's probably better. But, like, they could have had Nick Foles. They could have guess who's available right now? Probably via trade. Baker Mayfield. I'd rather have him than Carson Wentz.
Yeah, same.
To be in such a hurry to go get Carson Wentz like they did, who's 30 years old now at this point, who has seemingly, struggled, never been well liked.
We got a couple comments in the chat I got to bring up. First of all, Ramon says, would you rather have Carson Wentz or Trubisky in 2017, though?
In 2017,
I guess
Wentz was a rookie in 2016.
So what, 2018 season, right? Is that what we're talking about?
I don't know.
Honestly,
both these guys are like, you're banking on their upside, right? Like, and at what point you just gotta, there should be a point where it's like, all right, whatever upside that could have been, it's just not amounting to anything. That's where I feel like Carson Wentz is at right now. But yet the Commanders thought otherwise.
Meanwhile, Will Jeffrey, big Carson Wentz fan, says he'd be the best quarterback to ever play for the Bears.
I would take Jay Cutler over Carson Wentz.
Yeah, I think I would too.
He also says that he's comically better than Mayfield or Foles.
Yeah, in theory. But then why is it always such a problem with them? Whether it's health, whether it's, him not fitting in.
He's on his third team for a reason.
Yeah.
He's on his third team for a reason.
Now,
obviously,
the one thing we do have to give Washington credit for, I guess, is this is probably going to be a 1-year thing because they can get out of this next year with zero money left on the books and save $26 million against their 2023 cap just by cutting him. So, at least according to Spotrac, which I'm looking at right now. So they're desperate for a quarterback. They want to make a big upgrade. They had the room to do it. Good luck paying all that money. For at least this year, it's crazy to me. But Carson Wentz is the quarterback. I think you could argue that they could have gone and got Mitch Trubisky.
They could have.
And that would have made just as much sense.
Yeah.
But anyway. They also go out, they add a guard in Andrew Norwell, who also used to play under Ron Rivera when he was in Carolina, came over from the Jaguars. F.A. Obata also used to play for Carolina back in the day. Key losses, though, they do lose Brandon Scherf, who went to Jacksonville, so kind of a swap of guards there between those two teams. Landon Collins, who's still a free agent right now, actually, and available to be signed. Key rookies, Commanders do get Jahan Dotson, the wide receiver out of Penn State. Fedarian Mathis added to what is already a loaded defensive line. Almost wonder if that makes Daron Payne expendable.
I think it does.
In a
He's in his
potential
contract year.
trade or something like that. So that could be something to watch. And then Sam Howell probably won't factor much into a matchup against the Bears this year. But interestingly enough, they do draft a quarterback in the 5th round. Sam Howell comes over from North Carolina, which perhaps another suggestion that this Carson Wentz thing could be just a 1-year situation, which, if he was so good,
Wouldn't you sign him?
might not be a 1-year rent.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want him to be a 1-year rental. But I sincerely doubt they're going to want Carson Wentz on the books for $26 million in 2023.
No.
If he plays well enough to justify that, good for them.
Good for them, but I look at their wide receiving core there, Adam, and, obviously they drafted first round Jahan Dotson out of Penn State, a guy that I liked. And they do have Terry McLaurin, but they also lost DeAndre Carter and Adam Humphries, their number 2, number 3 wide receivers, and now you put a lot on Jahan Dotson to just contribute in year 1 alongside, like I said, Terry McLaurin, who is a very good receiver. So just looking at the wide receivers, it's a group that you have an established number 1 and a first-round draft pick. You got to see how that's going to work out with a quarterback like Carson Wentz. Is he the guy that elevates wide receivers? We're about to find out if it works out in Washington, but a guy that you do have to account for every single snap, every single play is Antonio Gibson. He's a very talented running back, can obviously catch out of the backfield. So he's someone that the Bears will definitely have to keep their eyes out for because he can line up literally anywhere.
I will agree that Wentz, when he's playing well, he did have stretches in Indy last year where things were going well. Yes, he is, I don't know if I'd say comically better than Baker Mayfield, Nick Foles. I would say he's better. But there's that same, quite frankly, the same inconsistency that comes with Baker Mayfield.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, man. When you have an organization like the Colts that just so blatantly made it clear that they were done with the guy after trading what they did for him, it just was kind of an eye-opener, I thought.
When you have the running backs that they do, and like Jonathan Taylor, and you have such a great defense, it's like as a quarterback, just don't screw it up.
Yeah.
And it just seemed like at times,
Remember that pass he threw from the end zone falling down?
Yeah, like that. I remember the game against the San Francisco 49ers. They ended up winning that game, but as he's falling in the rain, he's like, "Let me try to make this pass." Yeah. It's just a lobbed up ball to the linebacker, and it's those types of plays that puts Carson Wentz, I think, in this negative connotation that he's just not a good quarterback because he consistently makes those types of plays that lose you games. So for Washington, that finished 3rd in the East and has a good defense, has a good running back, almost a similar type of situation as Indianapolis. Can he just be the game manager and be able to make those dynamic plays when he gets outside the pocket? I don't know, because Carson Wentz has been very inconsistent up to this point in his career.
Are you talking about the one against the Titans?
Oh, yeah, that one right in the end zone, right?
Yeah.
Like the dumbest decision.
So the situation, if you want to know why the Colts
backed up,
tied at 24, 1:30 left in the game. It's 1st and 10 at your own 8. Takes the snap, backs up into his own end zone, gets pressure. Now, I guess the thing is he's probably taking a safety here, though. But still, he throws it up.
Better than
safety is better than a touchdown in that situation.
I mean, it was really stupid. Now, I think they ended up winning that game, right? They ended up scoring and then sending it to OT and actually winning, I think. It was like they won despite his stupidity.
Yeah.
And that's, like the play I was referencing against 49ers. They still end up winning that game, but it's like those are the types of plays that easily can make you lose tight ball games.
Let's look at some of the points bets numbers on the Indianapolis Colts. Now I'm just talking about the Colts at this point. The Washington Commanders for this coming season, which are the Bears' opponent, and what are we, week 6 now?
Week 6.
Yeah.
Week 6.
They lost that game in overtime to Tennessee, which means they did come back and score a touchdown to force overtime. Right. But the Colts did lose that game. All right, for the Washington Commanders, they are plus 6,600 to win the Super Bowl, which puts them 22nd in the league. Pretty much kind of where you would expect this team to be. They are 10th in the NFC in terms of odds to win the NFC at plus 3,300. To win the NFC East, they're plus 475, which puts them third. And their over-under is at 7.5 wins. It costs you a little bit more to bet the over at minus 130. The under is plus 110. So, look, it's a tricky team. We talked about it when we previewed the schedule originally, that defensive front could be a matchup problem for that Bears offensive line and Justin Fields. So not an easy game by any means. Potentially one based on how the first month and a half of the season goes. You could see the Bears favored. Remember, this is a Thursday night game. We should point out at home.
Yeah.
Maybe based, like as of now, the Bears would not be favored in this game, but could potentially switch a little bit. But it's a tough matchup.
Yeah, JR in the chat says that this might be the first game we really see Justin on the move. The defensive front is nasty for those Commanders.
And deep.
Yeah, so I think with like how I was viewing this game when we did our schedule preview, you just look at that front seven, and Chase Young should be healthy. It'll be 9 months since he tore the ACL, and he should be ready by week 1 on that timeline. So by the time week 6, even though the Commanders have said they're not putting a timeline essentially on when Young can return, but when it comes to this game on Thursday night, I do expect to see him out there. And then you add guys like Deron Payne and Montez Sweat, guys that can get after the quarterback. We still are figuring out this Bears offensive line. Once it comes to training camp, Adam, I just don't. We're going to figure out where people are at, and I don't know if what the Bears are going to do is going to help combat it enough to where they come out with a victory in this one. And that's why I have it that's why I had it as Washington Commanders winning this game, just because of what they'll potentially do to Justin Fields and that Bears offensive line. Yeah,
Will Jeffrey says this is one of those games that both teams look at as a win for their team. I could see that. Yeah,
that's a good point.
That's why I really feel like we'll know a lot more about where these teams stand. The funny thing is, as much as I just shit on Carson Wentz,
mainly that was me.
Yeah, Washington's a sneak. They did win the East a couple years ago, and they're kind of sneaky in that division because they're not going to be a pushover. If they did improve, and I do think they are better at the quarterback spot, which is what they were trying to do. I guess my big problem with the move that they made was it's like they jumped on it too early.
The money
for that price. When we knew there was going to be fallout from this Deshaun Watson thing. And yes, I understand where they're coming from the standpoint that there were not a lot of great options out there. But did they make this move? Was it before or after the Russell Wilson? Maybe it was right after. It was in that wave of quarterback movement that happened. Yeah. We saw Matt Ryan go. We saw Carson Wentz. We saw Russell Wilson. It was right after we launched here at CHGO, and it was like a quarterback move every single day. It seemed like there for a minute. So I understand some of the urgency, but it's like, Russell Wilson's up here. I would say Matt Ryan's still here, and then there's a drop off here, and I just didn't understand the rush for this. When there could have been another option like Baker Mayfield later in the offseason, somebody that costs a lot less. But nonetheless, I do think they are a slightly better quarterback. I don't know that they're going to be able to win all these close games, potentially with Carson Wentz back there. But if you're looking for some value and some opportunities from the points bet side, I wouldn't be totally against a Washington for the NFC East at plus 475 bet.
I think it also speaks to the division or the East itself. The Cowboys should be, I guess, the best team because of talent, but I feel like that division fluctuates. Where are the Eagles going to be back in it? I remember when Washington gave the Bucks a good playoff game. It was a close game with Heineke.
Yep.
That was a very close game. So they do have some talent. And like the one commenter said, both teams should be viewing this like they can actually potentially win this game. I'm sure they view that for every week, but realistically, it could go both ways. I just see it that Washington in a primetime game will come out and still win this game, and we'll revisit this later once we're after the 5 weeks. And then once we get here, we'll see how Carson Wentz is playing. We'll see how Fields is playing, how these defenses are both gelling at that point in time, and then we can see how that changes.
Well, I walked in here today. Our awesome GM, Jake Flanagan, gave me this nice points bet. This is one of those lighter hoodies. It's more like a T-shirt hoodie. I love those.
Those are nice.
Great for the fall. Great football.
I feel like that's a very Sean McVay thing to wear, the light hoodie.
Light hoodie? Well, he is in California. You don't need heavy hoodies there.
No, you don't.
Maybe in the evening sometimes. But the reason I point this out is because the best way to support CHGO is to download the PointsBet app. Use code CHGO when you sign up. And if you do that right now, you get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. And that's not it, because if you make a $50 or more first-time deposit, you'll receive a free CHGO membership, which unlocks all of our web content, and you'll even get a free shirt of your choice from the CHGO locker. $2,000 in free bets, a free CHGO membership, a free t-shirt from the CHGO locker, all for making more than a $50 first-time deposit at PointsBet. Any questions, you can email pointsbet@allchgo.com. We will help you out. If you see an edge in the game you're watching, or if your favorite team seems primed for a comeback, well, you don't have to just watch the game, because you can bet along with it live. PointsBet has more live betting, more live markets, and faster live cash outs. Follow along with your bets the moment they hit and stay in the live action all game long. Download the PointsBet app right now. Use promo code CHGO. Once the game starts, don't just bet. Live your bet life with PointsBet. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER for crisis counseling and referral services.
And I have to tell you about our next partner, Athletic Greens. With 1 scoop of Athletic Greens, you are absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help start your day off right. This mixture of ingredients helps your immune system, gives you energy, and improves your focus. That's why I take my Athletic Greens, and you should too. What's awesome about Athletic Greens is that it costs less than a cup of coffee a day. Also, it helps support better sleep quality and recovery, which we all definitely need. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements, so look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/CHGO Bears. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/CHGO Bears to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutrition insurance.
All right, keeping it rolling here on the CHGO Bears podcast presented by PointsBet. It is Monday. It's the start of a new week. Good to have you back, Nick.
By the way, did Nick see the merch that dropped last week?
I already bought the CHGO Skyline shirt. I saw that in Punta Cana. I'm like, buying it, need it. It looks fresh.
Should we talk to him about watching the show while he was on vacation, or should we just let him?
I tuned in. I woke up, like I said, from a nap poolside. I saw that you guys are on. I wanted to say hi, and then I'm like, all right. Then I saw them. Then I heard you talking now. I'm like, I'm out.
They're talking about me. I'm out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yep. So I didn't watch. I mean, glad that you guys had fun and did your thing, but I was good in Punta Cana.
Yeah, I'd hope so.
Well, and really, I was just jealous.
Oh,
being honest. But we had a good time at the White Sox tailgate last week without you. Sorry you missed it.
It looked like a good time. I wish I could have.
As long as we don't talk about the actual game.
Yeesh.
I don't even. Did they? Yeah, they most likely lost.
Of course they did win.
There's a great. So that was what was cool about that game for my family personally was that was my daughter's first White Sox game. She just turned 1, and that was the first Sox game we've taken. Technically, her first baseball game was a Dogs game because we took her there a few weeks ago.
Love the Dogs.
But there's a great photo. I've been meaning to tweet this, and I just keep forgetting. But late in the game, probably 7th, 8th inning, sound asleep in Papa's lap, which I thought was
awesome.
Which I thought no one's gonna be able to see this, but I'll show it to you, Lawrence, so you can see it. Just perfect metaphor for that game. Like
sleep through it.
I wish I was sleeping by that point in the game.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Nice to be a baby.
Could have been like Steven and just been eating a lot.
Shout out to Steven though. I saw that. What, 9 hot dogs, 9 beers in 9 innings?
Yes.
Yeah, he actually did it in about 7 innings, honestly. It was like the middle of the 8th, and he was waiting for Herb to come over to the seats we
That's
had
impressive, man.
grabbed.
Could you do either? I'm more confident that I could do the 9 beers than the 9 hot dogs. I feel like most people would say the opposite. But come on, you guys went to Big Ten schools.
9 dogs?
I don't think I could do 9 hot dogs.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Like the bread alone just fill me. I mean, you know.
Maybe without
9
the
beers,
bread.
Yeah.
Without I probably
Philly
ate.
chestnut.
I would fail on both fronts, personally. I'm old. I don't really want to do either of those things.
Well, it doesn't matter if you want to. You have to.
Do I, though?
If you had to.
No.
I probably ate that equivalent of meat at this party we were at Saturday night. Someone made sausages and peppers. They were so good. I probably had that equivalent of what would have been 9 hot dogs. But you're taking the bread out of that situation.
Yeah, see,
there's no bread there.
thing.
It's just an amazing dish of sausage and peppers.
Damn buns.
Anyway, we had a good time. We'll definitely have more events coming up as long as we don't get murdered by the Star Wars thing going on here in the studio right now. All right, today's Hoge's grade. H-War, as Lawrence calls it.
Oh, yeah, H4.
Here we go.
We have Larry Borum.
Woo.
Larry Borum.
Look at that guy.
75.
163 is the grade from last season, which puts him in the fringe starter mode. But I did want to point out, because he had 8 starts as a rookie. And he must have just had like 1 or 2 tough games, because when I looked at the individual weeks in my spreadsheet that I have, he graded out as at least a starter or better in 5 of his 8 starts. So you could see why there's some optimism, I think, even from this new regime inheriting Larry Borum, that he can be a starter on this offensive line, whether that's left tackle, right tackle, or maybe potentially even at right guard if that's needed down the line. He has been working with the ones in the offseason. It started at left tackle, then he got moved to right tackle as Tevin Jenkins got knocked back to the second team. So where he's going to fit here, I don't know. I think the bigger question is, how does his game translate to this run scheme? Remember, he lost a ton of weight last year when he got to the Bears. Still looks to have held that off. Missouri must have wanted him playing heavier or something, because he seemed to lose that weight relatively quickly and easily. And I guess we'll just kind of see how it fits here in training camp once we get the pads on and get to see him. But I'm still pretty bullish on Larry Borum. Not necessarily as like a guy who I expect to be like an all-pro anytime soon, but as somebody who can start, especially if it's at right tackle on this offensive line.
Yeah, and just watching some of his games from last season, like the one that stands out the most is that game against Pittsburgh, when you have TJ Watt and some of those defenders that can get after the quarterback, and just kind of looking at his PFF grade and how they look at some of those stats there. Gave up 0 sacks, 0 hurries. And again, you have TJ Watt on the opposite end there, and he's able to go, one, get off the line of scrimmage fast enough so that TJ Watt doesn't get those angles, and did a pretty good job in a game that's on the road and against one of the best defenders in the league. So you like that, and how that transitions to this new scheme where you need to be able to get out in space. You need to be able to seal blocks. I think Larry Borum has that. It's honestly, is he going to be, when we go to training camp, is he going to get that first opportunity to start at right tackle? Or is it going to be Tevin Jenkins? Like the last 6 days, it was Larry Borum. He was the right tackle with the first team, while Tevin Jenkins was the right tackle with the second team. And I know I said earlier on what it feels like forever ago, I think Tevin Jenkins will still end up getting that first opportunity at right tackle.
Well, it wouldn't make sense to me to change how they left it. Because, like, what are you changing it off of? Unless, like, maybe they challenged Tevin Jenkins to do something, weight-wise or strength-wise or something-wise, in the month that they're off, and he comes back and incredible. I don't know. My point is, like, I'd almost question the process if they make a change from what they ended minicamp with. Now, if it's earned once camp starts, then obviously we're probably gonna see some shuffling in training camp. I'm prepared for that, but I would wonder why you would even change it from how they ended mini camp based on. I'd be like, off of what?
So it sounded like to me like they had it planned, like six practices or however what it was. It was 6 for Tevin Jenkins, 6 for Borum. Mm-hmm. And how much are we learning from them in notepads anyway?
Yeah.
So yeah. Maybe that's how the route they go. Maybe they want to give the former second-round draft pick and Tevin Jenkins an opportunity there, and he loses it. I guess we'll see mid-July July 23rd, I believe, is when rookies report, and so that's when we'll know. But I think Larry Borum does have the capabilities of playing in this offense, or it's all just going to depend on what the Bears kind of view that position as. And hey, could he move inside? Could he be a swing tackle? All questions we don't have answers to.
No, but I do think it's a good thing. A couple things Larry has going for him. First of all, I think more good games than, like, for a rookie, he had a good rookie season, especially as a fifth round pick. I think he gives you versatility. I'd still like to see him in a full, season at one spot, but he's a player I think you like inheriting and a player that you like going into 2022 at this point. Also, we got another player to talk to you about from Will's perspective with a player preview, so we'll get to that in a second. But first, once again, going to tell you, if you enjoy CHGO, one way to help us continue to grow is to download that PointsBet app. Use code CHGO when you sign up, and not only are you going to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000, but if you make a $50 or more first-time deposit, you will receive a free CHGO membership, which unlocks all of our great web content, and you'll even get a free shirt of your choice from the CHGO locker. Any questions, email pointsbet@allchgo.com. We will help you out. Online sign-up is available in Illinois right now. You can download the PointsBet app, register your account from start to finish, all from your phone. You will be signing up with the fastest sportsbook, easier than ever, so you can start living your bet life in seconds. What are you waiting for? Once the game starts, don't just bet. Live your bet life with PointsBet. Gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. All right. Will's obviously not with us today. He will join us Wednesday of this week as we continue player previews, all kinds of off-season content for you. But he has been knocking out these player previews every single day at allchgo.com, and these are actually unlocked for you, so you don't have to be a member to
But you should be.
Read them. But especially if you're enjoying it, there's plenty of other web content too that you should be checking out. So please sign up if you like the player preview. So much good information in here. But Dante Pettis, a player that the Bears signed this offseason, dealt with some injuries, didn't go well with the New York Giants, only played in 5 games and 3 games last season. He's just been limited action for him, and the Bears are trying to get a guy who's had some success in the league, has some pedigree to him, see if they can plug him in and get more out of him. But obviously he needs to prove that he can stay healthy. Only 10 catches last year on 16 targets. Noticed him a little bit though in the offseason program, made a couple plays here and there. One big play towards the end of minicamp in a 2-minute drill situation from Justin Fields. So Will points out, is the biggest question, can he get his career back on track in Chicago? He was a second-round pick. That's the pedigree. Talking about the San Francisco 49ers took him there in 2018 in the second round. I think there's still a chance, but I also feel like more times than not, somebody who's, 18, 19, 20, so he's going in his 5th season. More times than not, you don't see the career all of a sudden take off later. Like, it almost seems like an Anthony Miller type situation.
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
Yeah.
Yep. I think what could help Dante Pettis maybe just become a relevant wide receiver for this Bears team is that what the Bears seem like they're doing is that there's going to be a rotation of guys that can line up anywhere on any given play. Their skill sets can help that because you can have Dante Pettis on the outside. You can put him in the slot, and you could do that with a lot of the other Bears receivers. So you could see opportunities in multiple different spots in any given offensive play. So maybe a guy like Dante Pettis can take advantage of that. The thing is, you haven't seen a Dante Pettis who's actually made an impact since his rookie year in 2018 when he was leading the league among rookie wide receivers in touchdowns. Like, you just haven't seen him play. He hasn't been healthy enough to play. 3 games with the Giants, or 3 games as of recently, and really 2 because he played a couple snaps in that 3rd game and then was taken out. So for Dante Pettis, in a wide receiver room that's pretty wide open, can he make an impact? The one thing that Will mentions in the article, he does have familiarity with Tyke Tolbert. So out of all the wide receivers, Dante Pettis knows what he's about being with the Giants. Does that help him get onto the field a little bit more than, I don't know, maybe like a Sharp or somebody like that? So that's going to be the question. With this wide receiver room, other than Darnell Mooney, like it should be, pretty wide open in terms of who can be contributors for this Bears offense. And Dante Pettis, he does have some route running ability, has some good speed. The play that, Adam was mentioning earlier, ran a good route over the middle and was able to catch a touchdown. All the offense celebrated in that right corner of the end zone. So if he can make plays like that and show it through preseason, maybe he can have a chance just to have an impact. But I don't expect really big things to come out of Dante Pettis.
Yeah, I think he's an intriguing guy to watch in the preseason. And then it's like one of those things where even if he has a good preseason, makes the team, you're still going to be skeptical that it's going to translate to the regular season. Mm-hmm. We've seen those things happen before. All right, cool. So there's a couple more player breakdowns for you. Before we get out of here, I wanted to tell you about an event happening tomorrow night in the city at Tau, and there's still tickets available if you'd like to join us. It is a fundraiser event for the Vaughn McClure and Jeff Dickerson Foundation to honor the memories of 2 of our colleagues that we've lost over the last couple of years. And all the money goes to supporting them and the causes that were close to their hearts. It's a pretty cool event. There's still tickets available. There are items even if you can't make it. So the website is tvmjdfoundation.org. So that's kind of an abbreviation for the Vaughn McClure and Jeff Dickerson Foundation, tvmjdfoundation.org. Go to the website, ticket info's there. There are items that you can bid on. Actually, even if you don't go, you can click on through to like the featured items. There is a Justin Fields signed jersey. That is one of the items. There's a Matt Ryan autographed football as I'm looking at this. There's a Jose Abreu bat. Okay. So there's some cool items here that you can check out. And of course, if you'd like to come, you still can.
Do that too.
It's at Tau tomorrow night in the city. I will be there. I know there's some other Bears writers who are going as well. So come check it out. Come say hi if you do. And most importantly, just you'll be supporting a great cause as we remember 2 of our good friends and colleagues. Just a quick story on this. What's crazy is, so the first one of these was last October. Wasn't even that long ago. And then it was just the Vaughn McClure Foundation, and JD was the one emceeing the event. And he was a lot of people at that, and they flew in ESPN did something cool and like flew in all of their NFL Nation reporters for this thing.
Wow.
And a lot of them had no idea how much he was struggling at that event that night. And I was like, and there was no way he wasn't going to go. He fought through it. And then as soon as it was pretty much over his part, he's like, I got to go home. And I'm like, totally understand. It was pretty incredible. And then just to think that like 2 months later he was gone. And then now they have renamed the foundation the Vaughn McClure Jeff Dickerson Foundation because he was on the board already. And now we're kind of remembering him at the same thing. It's tough, but it's also a great cause, and hopefully there'll be some healing that happens there as well with these 2 guys. But we miss them, and if you can help out, we appreciate it. odd coincidence. Tomorrow morning's also Moon's funeral. It's just like it's all coming together in one day. So anyway, we appreciate it. And if you come, great. If you don't, check out the website. And either way, we appreciate the love and support. We're out of here. Please don't shave your mustache. I think you have to keep it for at least a week.
Yep. Just like that. Oh, yeah.
And
for this week, at least.
That's good. If you come in with sunglasses like that tomorrow.
I have my sunglasses in my bag outside there.
Oh, man.
Yeah, just bring the green bag there, Lawrence, and this will be good. I have to rock it for the CHGO softball game today, too. Maybe it'll help. Maybe it'll help my swing, honestly.
And you guys play Odyssey tonight, too.
Yeah, yep. We should do.
Which has another... Well, yeah, if you're going to keep up with Shane Reardon's facial hair situation, you got to show up with the mustache tonight.
Just got to go with the mustache. So.
That's... Man, I hope Shane strikes out 3 times tonight. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Why didn't we start the show like that?
Right?
You know, I told my parents, like, hey, I'm gonna just come on with the sunglasses, and I just forgot them in the bag. Just forgot them.
This is unbelievable. Okay.
See you tonight. CHGO softball.
There was one Team Ramrod. That was a comment earlier that mentioned Team Ramrod.
Yeah.
Hashtag Team Ramrod. Always love. All right, I might have to go home and watch, I don't have time. But if I did have time to watch a movie, I would go watch Super Troopers.
I might watch it again, too.
Stop doing that.
Gotta watch. If you're just listening, just watch this show at least.
Yeah, you're going to have to. We'll post something on social media, but that's unbelievable. This is definitely one where you probably want to be watching the YouTube feed. If you do, please subscribe. Please hit that like button. Just hit the like button for the mustache. Just for that reason alone, we appreciate it. Hit the notifications as well so you know when we go live. Rate and review the pod if you listen to us that way. Follow us on social media at CHGO_sports_Bears. All the great places you can find our content.
Stash.
Okay, now I want you to actually shave it immediately. Get out of here. We'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Talk to you then.